Wow!
Welcome to an all-new episode of Everyday Life of Ralph Powers.
Wow!
This episode is a little different. Today and tomorrow, my city is celebrating its city being 125 years old. Today and tomorrow, the city has opened up the city and is allowing the public to tour various locations. So today, you're going to see some sights and sounds around my city.
Hello.
There's got to be over 100 places to go visit. Unfortunately, I can't stop at all of them. I would like to do that, but I can't. So today, I'm going to take a couple stops at some locations, places that's interest to me. This episode is called Waukesha Unlocked. So enjoy today's interesting episode. Oh, and I'm also going to the farmers market too. This is an Unhappy Dinner Plate production. The city of Waukesha is allowing people to tour areas around the city. And today I'm going down to check out the fire department across the street here. We'll take a little tour through the building.
Go ahead. Okay.
Are you here for the history of Waukesha, the presentation?
Just to walk around.
You just want to walk around? Okay. We're going to start talking in here, but I'm going to go.
I'm not sure. Let's see.
that helped out their neighbors at the time to make a difference in the community. You'll even notice some of our more recent, more famous retirees. John Watt, you may know his sons pretty well. JJ, Derek, and TJ are all, their dad was, and uncle were both firefighters here in Waukesha. Will you get downstairs?
We're on level wall, 500 Maple Lake House, 500 Maple Lake House. And then two real bedrooms, under 3.
Now we'll get into more of the living quarters of our station. Our station's kind of broken up in 2 phases. Upstairs is more our administration, our day-to-day operational personnel that oversee everything. And our downstairs is more of our living quarters. Our living quarters are no different than your home. We have a couple chairs here for our people to be able to watch games at night. You know, we'll be watching a Brewer game a little later on today. We'll be watching a Packer game tomorrow. Same things that you do at your home is the same things we do. We have a kitchen around the way. We have bedrooms just behind the doors over there. We're here 24/7, whether it's Christmas morning or 4th of July, we'll be here. So we'll head out on the bay floor. Our bay floor is our garage. It's where we keep our rigs, where we keep all the things. And it's actually the fun part where everybody really likes. So there's some stuff for you guys to try on. You can try on firefighter equipment. You can color. There's an opportunity to walk around one of our engines and also our safety house. So thanks for coming.
What do you guys want to see? You want to see safety house? They went to high school together. She knows. She knows what she sees.
Yeah, so we'll be good to go. But along the way, we'll not only tour this space, but I know some of you might have heard we also are in the middle of an expansion project. We purchased the clock shop next door, and we'll be taking you into that space too to show you what the plans are for it coming up. It's a really exciting time to be here. So yeah, and if you have any questions along the way, by all means, feel free to ask. And if I don't know it, I'll simply pretend like I didn't hear you. Okay? All right. Well, here we go. We're going to head into our main theater first of all. This is where we do our shows. Since we have shows going on approximately 4 to 6 weekends out of the year. It's pretty amazing. And as you'll see as we tour through the building, this is a constant cycle of things going on. There's never just one thing going on, so it's very exciting. Right now, this is the set being built for our next show, which is Death Trap. It's a mystery thriller. And what's fun about working here is that, again, like from week to week, this stage looks completely different. And it's fun to see all the different things you can put on this stage. We actually, we were not always here. The Waukesha Civic Theater has been around for 65 years, but we've only been in this building since '99. Before that, some of you may remember, we were in a much smaller space over on Washington. It was about maybe 75 seats. And this building was donated. It used to be the Pix movie theater, and it was donated to us by Bryce and Ann Stein. And so we went from having a 75-seat theater to a 260-seat theater, which has been, it was a learning curve, but what a great, fun problem to have, to figure out how to adapt to a nicer, bigger space. And so, like, if you look behind you, that lighting and sound booth, that was the old projection booth of the movie theater. I always, when I work with, I'm the education director, so I work with kids a lot. But kids or adults, I always think it's vital that you learn, like when you're enjoying a play up here, there are always at least 2 people working like dogs back there to make sure everyone looks and sounds great. And it's just fun to appreciate all the different moving pieces that go into putting a show on stage. So, yeah, like I said, this is, the next show. We have Death Trap starting. And they're in rehearsals already, but the show after that has already started rehearsals as well, Sister Act, the musical. So, and you'll see that we use every nook and cranny in this building. So, and again, if you have any questions as we're going, please don't hesitate to ask. But what we're going to do now is we're going to head out this side way, and we're going to take a look at the dressing rooms and green room area. Okay? All right.
Where do they practice? Like they're sitting there.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, we'll take a look. We have a rehearsal hall upstairs. Oh, we have a couple of different spaces that we can use. The rehearsal space primarily upstairs. So we're going to just be moving down onto the stage, and Sister Act will be moving upstairs. Where the actors hang out before the show. It's wired with the speakers so the people in the booth let the actors know 10 minutes to curtain, 5 minutes to curtain. And that door leads to backstage. There's also a door through the scene shop that leads to backstage. So we have a nice little traffic pattern we can get from one side to the other.
Question, what is a scene shop?
So the scene shop is where what you just saw on stage, that's where it's built.
Oh.
And we'll be able to take a look at that from a different angle.
Okay.
Because they're building in there, we won't be walking through there.
Okay.
It's not because they don't trust you, it's me. It's totally me. But if you want to come in here, what's really wonderful about this is that there are a lot of professional companies that don't have these kinds of facilities. We're so fortunate that all this was donated. Obviously the building needed a lot of renovation and but each dressing room has its own bathroom and shower, and it's really, it's people who do theater realize how lucky we are to have this. The shower thing, I kind of thought, that seems a little unnecessary, but I remember one year we were doing a Christmas show where a gentleman was playing the Grinch, and so he had the green makeup on. He could not get in that shower quickly enough after each performance. But the thing is, you know, you do show after show after show. He never quite got all the stuff off, so he always looked sick. He had like green bags under his eyes. Nicest guy, but oh, I felt bad for him. Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't believe how many requests we get from like actors. So this is our rehearsal hall. You're asking where Death Trap rehearsed. This is it. So what they do is, you know, you can see some tape on the floor. Our main stage shows start up here. And they'll tape out like where there might be a wall or steps, and they rehearse here because there's another show going on the main stage. But now, once that set is built enough to be safe, Death Trap moves onto the stage, and Sister Act the musical moves up here. So it's this constant revolving door of performances.
Mad office?
That's, if I'm feeling angry, that's where I go. But MAD is actually, this is my office now, but MAD is an acronym for Managing Artistic Director. Oh. But you can't explain that to the kids when you're teaching a class. But yeah, so that's where our director used to be. Rhonda Schmidt is our executive director now. And she wanted to be a little bit closer to the action with everyone else in the office, so she's down in the main office. And it's funny because every single one of them thought that I should be the one to be isolated up here. I won't take it personally because I get this view, yeah. But, so this room, it's just, this is obviously, you can see, there's already a bunch of stuff here. We are a community theater, which means we cannot exist without community support. And that doesn't just mean writing a check. Like, you look at these hats hanging up, you see they are color coordinated. Like, we don't have time to do that. We have wonderful volunteers who come in and organize. The bins are labeled clearly and organized and cleaned out routinely. We have volunteers who come in and do that for us. And you know, one of the best things about theater is, when we say like the skills you work on, we're not training the next generation of actors necessarily. You know, we're building skills with kids and adults. And one of them that people don't think about is creative problem solving. It sounds like if you're at some corporate sales weekend or something when you say that, but it's so much creative problem solving. These hats are a perfect example. This whole top floor used to be wide open. It just, when we first moved in, it was wide open, all costume storage. We needed more rehearsal space, more classroom space. So they built up this room, but we had to reduce our costume storage area. And we are directly above our studio theater right now. And the first time we rehearsed something in here, the people from downstairs came out and said, "What are you doing? Like, you're so loud." Well, if you look, it's a tin roof. And the sound just bounced around in here and everything was amplified. These hats actually act as sort of a soundproofing. And they're too fragile to be stacked like our other hats. But this is with only a finite amount, it's a much bigger building than us. It's still a finite amount of space.
I can't believe how much stuff they have.
We can't afford to buy everything we need, so people moving, downsizing. Theater acts as another rehearsal space, another classroom space. When we have really large musicals, we'll use this. We'll hang curtains and make it a makeshift overflow dressing room area. Oh, okay. We need to do more to meet the demand. So.
Wizard of Oz.
I know.
Oh
See,
my God.
we are
There's so many times I just want it.
How many different, I don't know what word to use, but suppliers for actors? You know, how many different groups come here to perform?
Well, we're a community theater. Auditions are open to anyone. There's no experience necessary. So it's not like we have different troupes come in. Sometimes a company will rent our space and bring their own actors. But for the most part, we try to get the word out. It's on our website, audition notices, and the only thing we specify is like we need this certain age or this many people. But anybody, that's another fun thing. Like you don't know who's going to come through that door and audition. Like and
I could play a dead person.
Those are the most fun. Those are the most fun. You get shot in the dark. You get to lay on stage for 20 minutes.
That's my talent.
I love that. and I can't tell if that's wanting to make it big or just laziness, sort of thing, but I respect it.
Yeah, do you guys have a need for like extras, just people like for crowds or something like that?
Sometimes. And they still agree to come.
Thanks so much for coming and seeing our theater. I think you're going to still go
We're gonna
next
go next
door
door.
and see the space that we have planned for expansion. We are outgrowing the space, as Doug said, and I mean, we've really outgrown it. We have classes meeting in the hallways and in the lobby, and it's not, you know, we can't do everything we want to do in the space we have. So we are excited to have the building next door that's going to be built out hopefully in the next year. We're in the middle of a campaign. We've raised almost $3 million toward doing it. We bought the building outright, and you know, things are in progress. So if you want more information about the campaign, I do have that here. I also have.
I've got these.
Oh, you've got them?
Yeah, so there's a $5 off coupon to see Death Trap and a coupon for a free cone at Oscars. If you would like to.
And there's more information about our season.
Wide open rehearsal, classroom space. Then as you go further back, this is going to be the new black box studio that's put in. And we'll have dressing rooms and everything back there. And then up here, they're literally raising the roof of the building. And that our new administrative offices are going to be back there.
And there's going to be pass through from one building to the other.
Yeah, so this is going to go to our existing lobby. There's going to be an entrance, into our other lobby right about here. And this office area will be up, it'll connect with the costume storage area and rehearsal hall space. So I'll take you next door, I'll show you what that's gonna be. It doesn't look like that yet. Yeah.
So in there, the president.
Yeah, so we want to see how far these walls go. So a lot of this front area, so if you look at, we kind of taped out some stuff. From this line out, this is that rehearsal hall reception area we talked about. This stairwell will be knocked out. And it's going to be exposed stone and brick as well. This blue square that you're seeing partially taped out here, that's going to be the hallway into the existing lobby. And as part of the renovation, staying up to code with enough restrooms and everything, we have to completely redo the main lobby. So where the offices and restrooms are, it's going to be switched, which sounds totally impractical, but when an architect explains to you why you have to do it, it makes more sense. But yeah, so that's going to have a nice, and this ceiling will be taken out. There's another story up above it. It's barren and more exposed brick. So like this whole front wall will be glass and just a lot of natural light coming in. So this will actually be very respectful. This square is my office. I don't want anybody in there. But there'll be another entry point to the theater right about here. And that will lead you then. You're gonna walk down this aisle. I am standing right now on the risers for the audience in the black box. So if you can imagine, it's taped out over here. This is our stage. And depending on how the stage is configured, we'll be able to get 60 to 80 seats in here. But people will come in, walk down that aisle, and then they'll have a seat here. So
Here are the risers.
it's starting. So it's one of those things that we have this great education program, and there was an increasing demand that we didn't have any performance opportunities except for a summer junior musical. It's called the Academy Expansion Project, but this is not just going to be kids shows. We are going to have other theater companies renting the space, and we'll be doing smaller scale shows that maybe don't work as well in a big 260 seat theater. But more intimate, like cabarets, or even just like stand-up comedy or something, just things that don't work as well in a big space. So this is really gonna, bless you. This is really gonna open up a lot of opportunities for us. And also, this is another, it's another classroom space, and it allows us to do more things. So it's a really exciting time to be.
Target date for completion.
They want to start in early February, and they're saying to be done by the end of August. Which probably means November. Right, yeah. But that's the goal. They wanted to, and again, there's so many moving parts, But the goal is for this to be ready by the start of the 22-23 season.
Okay.
So, again, you know, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Are you people enjoying today's episode so far? It's a little different. My city has opened up the city where people can take tours, and that's what today's episode is. I'm going around to various spots in my city and taking the tours that they are given. This was the old police department. They are using it again because their main police department is under construction, so they are borrowing their old police station. The city hall is brand new. The old one has been torn down. Right now, I'm going to take a tour of the new city hall. I've never really been to the old city hall other than to vote early. Oh, and I'm meeting Shane and Ashley down here. You will see them shortly.
Second and third level, they also close. So I have 5 fire doors in this building. One's above your head that goes diagonal here, or diagonal on an arc right here. Then you have to leave out the exit door. So you have to test them quarterly. So there's a whole different maintenance thing for us to learn. And just, you know, the whole building's a learning curve, basically. But those are probably our biggest things we have to test and make sure they are working every quarter. Start this way?
Oh boy.
Okay, so I don't know how many of you were in our old council chambers, but this looks a lot different.
Yeah.
Right now, the chairs are separated because of COVID. We have a large furniture storage room, which is where the additional furniture is right now. So when you design council chambers that has to be a court, also it becomes a little more difficult. So the courtroom has to be approved by the state, by Judge Doro. Then at the end of the construction, they have to come back and inspect and make sure it's done correctly. So while we're designing it, we are making sure that the judge has an area up in the front where right in front of him is more block, so he can't, you know, bullets can't go through there. So that has to be in the front panel. He has to have an exit. He or she has to have an exit out the back. They have to have their own restroom. The defendants have to have a table, and the attorney has to have a lecturer. So then we took that issues and then turned it into a council. So the council, 2 aldermen share a touchscreen. So there's a lot of electronics in this room. And if I'm presenting something, it is shown on the big screens for the public. It's shown on their laptops, shown on all these computers. It shows up in the hallway, in the lobby right out here on that big screen. And then down the hall, we have a huge training center that can hold another 160 people. So if you had a very large item, people could be in there seeing the same thing that's happening. Here's a span creek on every floor, and the buildings are covered to get down. So every time I had to make an IT, because you know, when that building was built, we didn't have computers. We would have to drill, because we don't have drawers out there. This is our screens we did have during COVID, and now after vaccinations, we don't need those up in the front anymore. That was for between the aldermen. It's going to be much brighter up here. Oh, wow. It's a hidden gem. No one knows is here. I actually gave a tour to a co-worker last week who'd worked in the building with me, and he did not know this was here. He's like, what? He's like, I didn't know what people were going to like. I'm like, okay. So, it's very warm out here. So originally when we designed the building, we wanted our cafe up on the roof. And when I get upstairs, I can show you where we wanted it. It was cut out. The alderman didn't think that was necessary. So I still felt it was necessary to have a place for our people to be able to eat. And whether it's good or not, when we're sitting not working, sometimes the public doesn't like that, whether we're, it's our lunchtime or not. So it was important for me to have a wall around, so people just walking by don't see us sitting here not working. So I mean, that's why it's kind of hidden back here. The water utilities come up and use it, we're share that with them. We have a sidewalk that goes around the entire building. It's two purposes. A lot of people are exercising on it, they walk around. Plus the skywalk, let's say when that gets developed over there, let's say somebody wanted to park in the ramp, they could come to the ramp and walk straight to the development. So that's kind of, we wanted a connection. And then when we sell off the upper lot, which you'll see later, where the old City Hall parking lot was, same thing, that development could use the parking ramp. It's, let's say it's condos or apartments, they could use it for parking. So that's what the sidewalk purpose. So it goes around the whole building. This is a Wi-Fi spot. It is secure though, but we do have a lot of places in the building that we are encouraging employees to move around. When COVID started, probably 50% of us had laptops. Now obviously all of us have laptops because we had to work at home, which kind of nothing was good about COVID, but it did help us in that project. So then I can come down here and work if I want to. We kind of designed the building to have a lot of little cubby areas that people want to get up and move around, so they're not always at their desk, just for collaboration. So this is one of them. I've seen people sitting out here working. So it's kind of nice spot. So this skywalk, obviously we're next to Transit Center, which was a huge appeal to us because all 101 people working in the building park in that parking structure now. And visitors can park there or they can park in the surface lot. For the first 6 months we got people so good at parking over there, like no one even knows this parking lot's here. I'm like, you guys come over here. It's kind of an uphill walk as you come. Our fleet vehicles are over there. They're locked in the gate on the first floor. So when we're coming and going during the day, we have people that can come and go 5 or 6 times. They do park in a little small lot we have on the side, the east side of the building, north side of the building. And so then, but at the night they have to go park their vehicles. Something I like to tell people right now, because I think it's important to get the public involved, is North Street and St. Paul are going two-way next year. It's a huge project for us. We've been working on it for years. So watch for public information meetings. Watch for headlights coming down. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
A few years back, I seen signs on the side saying two-way, but they were covered up, and then they came down.
And then they came down. Yep, that's right. And we, when we built this, we had to close a few times, and there was kind of a short area of two-way because the buses had to come out. But when we built the transit center in 2004, we built a design to have St. Paul and North two-way. So that's how long we've been. That was 2004. So I mean, a lot of developers want it. They really want people to be able to come and go from the freeway. And so we'll see how it goes.
And the whole way, like I live right on Moreland and North.
The whole, right there. It'll go to that intersection.
Which intersection?
By Frame Park at Moreland to the river.
Well, I was going to ask that.
Yeah,
Good question.
all the way from there to Wisconsin.
How are you going to make the two of them merge?
What about,
It's a plan I'd have to show you. I'm even still trying to figure, especially by where she lives, there, because you got to get them on either side of that boulevard.
There's going to be a roundabout. Watch.
No. Our former director, who has retired 2 months ago, wouldn't allow roundabouts in the city. So the answer is definitely no. Never know what the new director will like, but the old one did not like roundabouts. So
That's good. I don't care for them either.
yeah. I used to hate them.
I'm adapted.
Right. So about halfway through the project, I approached the architect and I said, can we put it in the building somewhere? So in 50 years is when they'll open it. It won't be me, yes, but someone in this group that might be that young. So anyway, we'll sail on the 7th. This will have a glass front. You'll be able to open the glass with tools, but you can't just open it. So that it's going to be sealed, so someone else won't make the same mistake I did. So that's where it's going. I think it's really pretty. And the other one was just a copper little box. But we were able to save almost all the pictures. Luckily, the backhoe driver was very good. Once he saw it in his hanging from his teeth, he knew it was something that we had to grab. Hold back here and take it right into the loading dock. We also have a computer room right next to us where we take deliveries of all of our computers. So those are the biggest large trucks that come here on a regular basis. And this room is quite large, and they're able to test the machines in here too. So the whole workers do their training in this space. So it's kind of nice. And wall and stuff. So if you walk across the hall, that's where the loading dock is. But again, a lot of planning on money-wise, we came in $3 million under budget. It's in the last paper on Thursday. And the final cost is right here, $20 million. And so $3 million. So did a pretty good job there. You know, just roll into the lots of glass, lots of windows. The roof has 75 anchor points for someone to be able to hang down to wash a window or to tuck point. Because there's no way you can do the backside with a bucket. So it's like estimated $5,000 is the cost I got. So do I do it once a year? Do I do it twice a year? Right now we're going to try once and we'll have to see. It does. Makes a world of difference. Just go ahead and press the button if you want to. Really does. I mean, the planning. I have to work with the planning. It took us a long time to make sure we had it right. I have to go with them because they can't be done without my dad.
Don't be done.
Oh yes, she's over on aviation.
Various places are open to the public. I'm going to the roof of this place. I want to get a scenic rooftop. I want to get some scenic footage from the roof. So I'm heading up to this rooftop right now. I almost got stung just now. Let's do with a bug. This is everyday life of Ralph Powers. Well, I'm going back downstairs now, taking the elevator. Hopefully the bee that almost stung me doesn't come back. It flew right on my arm. Now I'm going on down to the cemetery, which is not too far from me, and take a tour of that. And here I am to take the cemetery tour.
still a music store owner now?
Yes, I have a small store in North Prairie.
Hi.
And then I'm doing guitar setups in
Les says welcome.
He
wanted it
right
to be a
downtown.
welcoming
I had a
place.
store in
It is, it's
Waukesha for 15 years.
Yeah.
And then I had divorce, which I wanted the kids in the same school district,
That's
so I
his
moved to Maquanago. And I was
Evelyn.
27 in Germany,
And then Les.
service, and my daughter's a nurse. She's 20. No, I'm sorry, he's 26, she's 27. But anyways, so yeah, I'll do it till the day I keel over. So yeah, so I got some great pictures as well. But when I saw her, and I thought I know her from somewhere, and then when she explained who she was, I go, oh my gosh! So I've been vending her information. And then the girl that's running around here took her place.
Okay.
So she does all of them, but she's got some great stories. That's for sure.
Appreciate you sharing it.
Well, you guys are close by her.
Yeah, we live in the city.
I'm glad that you came out here. Are you going around seeing some of the scenes of everything else that's going on?
You ever seen
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, in fact, sadly, we got to leave in 5 minutes or so to go to one of those that had a reservation.
That's awesome. I'm just glad the weather's kind of hanging in there because it was boy this morning.
Yeah, we woke up to a thunderstorm.
That was a mean one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my husband was out hiking. Oh, with his aluminum hiking pole.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I got in my car. Get in the car.
Get in the car.
What were you thinking?
Paraphernalia of Les Paul, and thank God signed stuff, but I just brought kind of a few things and something I can cover up and put a bag over, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. I was gonna say it's funny the names because I didn't know the name. You know, I guess I don't know if Stutz was her
Yeah, that's her maiden name.
family name. Yeah.
She's related to the Stutz Bearcat automobile.
Oh, really? Is there a
And
relationship
she's
there?
also related to the Blatz family.
Well, I'm sure Stutz is probably a very common name from Germany.
Yeah.
I know I've got some Stutz in my family. That's what's funny.
Really?
Oh,
And
really?
the last place we went was the frame house that we were, and she has the name Frame in her family. So it's funny. This is the second place we found our own family name.
Yeah, we're not from here.
That's kind of how they do that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So we can't wait to see what we find at the next place.
Well, the thing is there's so many people that I've met already since yesterday, and when they go past and everything, and they go, my mom or my dad played with Les, you know, or something, or there's something, there's a story about that because Les was friends with people.
He was.
Yeah.
And he was one of these guys that didn't sleep.
Yeah, sounds like
I
it.
can see that.
It sounds like it. I remember being in his house one time, and he was just full of energy, and he's going like this, and I was with a couple of other people, and one of the guys was, oh gosh, he must have been 6'5", and I was sitting across from him, and I'm watching this guy kind of slide down in the chair, and I'm looking at him, he's going, but you don't want to stop Les with
Right,
your story.
right.
And I remember sitting there thinking, I'm just going to die, I'm so tired. And seeing on such a
Les Paul.
Oh,
How are you doing?
we're good. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Are you a guitar player?
Not really.
No. All right, though. But you know Les, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Les, cool. And the Brewers.
Yep.
They tied up now, right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. Nice meeting you two. Have a good day. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, very good. Yep. Do you live around here?
They're just on the street.
All right. Well, then you know that's the home of Les Paul.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And she's the curator for New York.
Yeah, Mary was born in the 20s.
Oh.
So, well, very good. Well, thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Gotcha.
on. I hope you all have enjoyed today's episode. It's almost over now. I would love to have gone to more places. I would have loved to stay here a little bit longer. Unfortunately, this episode is now over. Wow.